Hello, good morning to all of you. I hope that God's grace is with all of you. But for the things that you have to do today, you should know that it takes a lot of time to plan before today got to where it is. Now, as you do the planning, you should also know that there are tasks that you need to execute. You can't do it all alone. You can't do it all alone because you need people. And in order for us to achieve great objectives, teamwork is very critical. Indeed, when it comes to teams, we have various individuals who have varied characters, temperament, etc. How well do you tend to notice those with varied characters and how you can ultimately be in good relationship with them, harness their talent to achieve? And it's not only about a project management objective or a work objective. Even at the home, sometimes you have a family of 5 or 6 or even 2 beside the husband and the wife, or even partners, and their children who have various temperaments. How are you able to identify and harness the talents of those within your team? So if it's your household, you can do same. You can also do same for a community. Our inability to be able to identify and harness talents for teamwork is the bane for which we've experienced very much underdevelopment, whether it's in the workplace, the development of families, and the cohesion that we need as a society. And I'm hoping that all of us could take great lessons and do some great things today by identifying those around us, what they can do, what they can't do, and then harness their talents for the greater good. Thank you for joining us today. Now, one of the things that the president decided to do was to make sure that we closed down schools to contain spread of coronavirus. You know, that day on the 12th of March 2020, when we had that press conference with the Minister of Health on the middle, sandwiched with others, there was one great objective, making sure that while we contain spread, we also took certain decisions that will help us. And one of them included closing down all schools, whether from the top to the bottom. Now, we've had gradual easing of at least tertiary and second cycle schooling. And even when it comes to the basic, that would be at the junior high school level for the 3rd years also. But the world is moving on, and so too are we. How do we reopen schools is a big conversation. We all do know that one of the things that we need to do is to make sure, again, we think about this reopening alongside what the administrators will think, the policy implementers, and us, the parents and the communities. So we're going to discuss this holistically. No biases, dispassionately. Dr. Ochre Adaimensa is the Vice President of the University Teachers Association of Ghana. So we're going to speak to him as well. Dr. Is going to tell us about their experiences from the side of the universities, how they also within their internal organs have been thinking about how to reopen schools. Thomas Musa is General Secretary, the Ghana National Association of Teachers, and we know they are the biggest teacher union or group in Ghana. How do we need to move this conversation forward? Isaac J. Hyde is the National Union of Ghana Students President. So they represent students and their interests. We'll also let you in the conversation because many of us have children, we have friends, we have people we're looking after as guardians, as parents, and so we need to get everybody involved. So we decided to be hitting town this morning. Nancy Amafajradosi will be coming from a community near you, and we'll ask normal community members like you and I what they think about their children going back to school, how well prepared they are, and how that should be done. So we'll have parents, we'll have community leaders, we'll have ordinary students or pupils also sharing their thoughts. We'll open the phone lines and you also will join in. It promises to be an exciting conversation, and we'll take a look at it as well. We also do have the Ghana Education Service joining us for great interaction because we know the President had called for a pardon, and the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service were locked in several hours of meeting to make sure they come out with the decision. They did come out with that decision. There's also a press statement that has been issued, and it also means that, well, they heeded the president's call, and once they heeded the president's call, the students started writing, or again, continue writing their WASI. But there are other sanctions. How do we look at this holistically? In that reaction, the management of the Ghana Education Service says the reaction of management of the service is as follows, including the listed students getting dismissed from their schools, but will come back and write the examinations on the campuses where they are originally supposed to write. And then other actions for those who have destroyed properties to be surcharged, also maintained. So we'll talk about this. And helping us with the discussion will be Cassandra Chum Ampofo, who is Director of Public Relations, the Ghana Education Service. I hope that all of us can have some great time. We'll bring you the latest news headlines, tell you about sports, and wrap up with some great entertainment. As we do all this, we have to say that get onto social media, get onto the internet, log on to JoyNews on TV, on Facebook, at JoyNews on TV, on Twitter, and JoyNews TV, our regular channel on YouTube. As you do all that, know that we're always with you up to the minute. Thank you for joining us for the show. In the meantime, we'll get you up to speed with the latest traffic in town. You can see behind me from traffic.com.gh. We're bringing you what the picture currently is, the Tekwashi. So it's too early yet for the traffic to be building up, but I know that those who live far off beyond the Adenta barriers, beyond the Pram areas, they are getting ready to get into town. And those who also live beyond Kaswa, they are also getting ready to get to town. Now this is the picture at the interchange around the Tema end of the Accra-Tema motorway. And you can find that it's still very cool so far. And well, we'll see how it builds up by the middle of the hour as we've just begun. Now, the Gifford Road, linking Burma Camp cantonment areas is also very much empty. So we're just telling you which of the routes for you to use when you're coming into the city. Towards the end of the hour, we'll try and look at it and see how traffic has built up ultimately within the period. All right, so that's why we take a break, bringing to you what we have and also the latest traffic highlights. As you do that, please let's bring you the latest news headlines.